The wind howls through the mountain forest as Queen Freya storms in with her soldiers. She points at Rapunzel, calling her dangerous, and orders the guards to seize her. Prince Sigismund tries to protect her, but before anyone can act, Eleanor appears and blasts the soldiers with magic. Then, Rapunzel's eyes glow, and suddenly a powerful surge of energy erupts from her, shaking the entire forest. Prince Sigismund is thrown to the ground blinded. The soldiers collapse. Eleanor stumbles forward. With one last smile at Rapunzel, she vanishes into golden light. Rapunzel, distraught, screams for her mother, but she's gone. Before it all began, in a forest untouched by time, a selfish couple dumping their newborn in a mysterious forest. But before they bolt, Eleanor, the forest witch, shows up. She asks why they had a kid if they couldn't raise it. They tell her they're broke and can't handle another mouth to feed, asking her to keep the baby instead. Eleanor sees something special in the kid, picks her up and names her Rapunzel. The parents ditch her and split. Years zoom by and Rapunzel turns 15. She's super happy, the forest is her home, and she spends most of her time with the trees and birds. One day, she brings a hurt bird to Eleanor, her witch mom. Eleanor instantly heals it with herbs and magic. Rapunzel asks when she'll learn those skills, and Eleanor says when the time is right. Next, we see Queen Freya's castle. She points to a tall tower and tells her son, Prince Sigismund, he has to climb it to the eagle's nest to pass his test for the throne. It's a royal tradition, and with his dad gone, it's time for him to take over. Back in the forest, Eleanor tells Rapunzel she's been called to the castle tomorrow. She warns Rapunzel to stay near their hut and not wander off. Rapunzel asks if there's a festival. Eleanor explains it's for the prince's eagle's nest test to become king, and the queen invited her. Rapunzel asks what's so special about the eagle's nest. Eleanor says that after the king died years ago, the lucky eagle abandoned its nest, and legend says a new era will begin when it returns. Rapunzel wants to go with her, saying she's never left the forest or hut. Eleanor tells her the outside world isn't safe, which is why she's been living alone with her in the forest all these years. Cut to the castle again. General Max is teaching Prince Sigismund how to climb the eagle's nest tower. Prince Sigismund tries hard but keeps slipping and falling onto the straw below. His mom, Queen Freya, is disappointed. She takes him to the throne room and tells him his heart is in books and labs, but that won't make him king. He has to pass the test no matter what. Prince Sigismund sees a painting of a witch on the wall and asks who it is. Queen Freya says it's Eleanor the witch. She used to serve his father, and when Prince Sigismund becomes king, Eleanor will support and serve him too. The next day, Eleanor is leaving for the castle, and Rapunzel begs to go again. Eleanor tells her to stay and leaves for the castle. Rapunzel secretly follows her through the forest. When Eleanor sees Rapunzel at the queen's fort, she's furious, asking why she came, despite being told not to. General Max comes out and tells Rapunzel to stay in the castle courtyard, then takes Eleanor to the queen's court. Eleanor sees paintings of war on the court walls and remembers when the king was losing a battle. He asked Eleanor to use her magic. Her powers defeated the enemy, but also killed the king. That's why Eleanor moved to the forest. While she's thinking, Queen Freya arrives and tells her the king's death wasn't her fault, and she wants Eleanor to help her son now. Meanwhile, Rapunzel wanders into a lab where Prince Sigismund is doing research. Prince Sigismund asks who she is. Rapunzel tells him her name and that she's with her mom and heard he's climbing a tower today. Prince Sigismund says he's not into it. He prefers reading and research, but his mom doesn't approve. Rapunzel says everyone has different interests. Prince Sigismund feels understood and shows her his homemade fireworks. A little later, Prince Sigismund goes for his test. Everyone's watching as he has to climb the Eagle Tower. His friend Pip encourages him, and Prince Sigismund starts climbing, but halfway up, he starts slipping. The queen worries, but Eleanor uses her magic to support Prince Sigismund, and he manages to reach the eagle's nest and leave his mark. The crowd and Rapunzel are thrilled. Afterward, everyone goes to the court for Prince Sigismund's coronation. Prince Sigismund tells his mom he knows Rapunzel's mom helped him pass the test. The queen sends him to play with Rapunzel in the garden and tells Eleanor her son is weak at making decisions, so Eleanor needs to support him. In the garden, Prince Sigismund and Rapunzel chat. Prince Sigismund introduces her to Pip and promises to visit her hut in the forest. Back in court, the general hands Eleanor her magic wand from the royal chest. The queen tells her it will restore her full magic, and she must stay with her son forever to help him, so no enemy or neighboring king dares to challenge him. Eleanor doesn't want another accident like what happened to the king with the wand's magic, so she refuses. The queen says she must pledge loyalty to her son, because if she's not with them, she's against them. Just then, Rapunzel and Prince Sigismund walk in. Eleanor still won't agree, so the evil queen traps her by announcing to the court that this witch killed the king with her magic, steals children, and that even Rapunzel isn't her real daughter. She claims Eleanor took Rapunzel from her poor parents years ago. Everyone in court is shocked. Eleanor is heartbroken by Queen Freya's false accusations, but the queen wanted to frame her, so she'd already summoned Rapunzel's real parents. They lie to the court, saying the witch stole their newborn in the forest years ago. Eleanor asks them what nonsense they're spouting, reminding them she raised Rapunzel after they abandoned her. But the queen just wants an excuse, so she ignores Eleanor and orders the general to arrest her. Rapunzel, who has some magic, tries to stop the queen. The queen orders her soldiers to seize Rapunzel too and tells the general to cut their hair and jail them both. So, on the evil queen's orders, both mother and daughter have their hair cut and are thrown into jail. Prince Sigismund finds Rapunzel's bracelet and cut hair outside the jail. He's sad she's jailed, so he and Pip make a plan. That night in jail, Rapunzel asks Eleanor if she really stole her from her parents. Eleanor says no, she never told her she wasn't her real mom, but she raised her like her own daughter because her real parents abandoned her in the forest as a baby. Rapunzel hugs her. Meanwhile, Prince Sigismund and Pip enter the jail. Pip hides behind a wall and imitates the general's voice. The soldiers guarding Eleanor's cell go upstairs. Prince Sigismund seizes the chance to blast Rapunzel's cell lock with his gunpowder and leads Rapunzel and Eleanor out through a secret passage, escaping the palace. But the general and soldiers realize what's happening and start searching the jail. The queen finds the broken cell lock and rages, asking how they escaped even after their hair was cut to remove their powers. Eleanor and Rapunzel are far from the palace now, but soldiers are still hunting them. The queen orders them to search the whole kingdom and bring them back, dead or alive. Eleanor knows the queen's soldiers will catch them eventually, so instead of going to their forest hut, she takes Rapunzel to a mountain city with maze-like tall rocks. Eleanor turns a small stone between the rocks, opening a narrow secret passage. She and Rapunzel go through it to a forest on the other side. Eleanor tells Rapunzel this secret place is only known to witches and they'll be safe there. They start living in an old tall tower there. Time passes, and years later Rapunzel is a young woman. But out of fear of the queen, she still stays in the tower with her mom and never leaves. Over the years, Rapunzel has learned some magic and uses it for chores like putting away dishes. Getting into the tall tower isn't easy, so whenever Eleanor needs to go in or out, Rapunzel lowers her long magic hair from the window, and Eleanor uses it to climb up and down. One day, Eleanor comes back with magic flowers and tells Rapunzel it's getting harder to find them because the queen's soldiers are still looking for them everywhere. These magic flowers help Rapunzel's hair grow long. Rapunzel still misses Prince Sigismund and asks her mom about him. Eleanor tells her not to forget he's the queen's son, and the queen is their enemy. She says they can't trust anyone, even if he's grown up. Rapunzel says she hasn't seen him or left the tower in years and is bored of being there. Next, Prince Sigismund is shown with soldiers, searching for Eleanor and Rapunzel everywhere. His soldiers harass common people, but Prince Sigismund is kind and reassures them they won't be harmed. Meanwhile, at the court, Queen Freya asks General Max where her son is. The general says he's out searching for the witches with the soldiers, as usual. Prince Sigismund's friend, Pip, is also at court, now a jester who often entertains the queen. As the queen watches his act, Prince Sigismund arrives. The queen asks if he found any trace of the witches. Prince Sigismund says no, then goes to his room with Pip. The queen signals to the general, indicating something is up. Inside the room, Prince Sigismund tells Pip he found Rapunzel. She's living with her mom in a tall tower in the mountain forest. Pip asks if he talked to her. Prince Sigismund says no, she ran away when she saw him, but they can talk to Rapunzel whenever Eleanor leaves the tower. Next day, Prince Sigismund goes to the mountain forest with Pip and reaches the tower through the secret passage. Eleanor is out, so as planned, Pip imitates Eleanor's voice. Rapunzel thinks her mom is back and lowers her long hair from the window without looking down. Prince Sigismund climbs inside. Rapunzel is shocked to see him and asks if he tricked her with his mom's voice to catch her. Prince Sigismund says his friend made the voice because they needed her hair to get up, and he didn't come to catch her. Rapunzel says he's lying. She saw him with his soldiers searching for her yesterday. Prince Sigismund tells her he loves her, so why would he do that? While explaining Explaining, Prince Sigismund backs into the window and falls out of the tower, but Rapunzel uses her magic to gently lower him to the ground so he doesn't get hurt much, just a small wound on his face. Pip asks if he still wants to talk to her. Prince Sigismund calls out to Rapunzel again, but she's torn about trusting him. When Prince Sigismund gets no answer, he tries climbing the tower many times but keeps falling. Pip shouts to Rapunzel that if she doesn't talk to him, he'll break his bones. Next, Queen Freya is shown troubled in the palace. She tells the general Prince Sigismund was happy yesterday and took Pip somewhere today. He must be hiding something. Meanwhile, Rapunzel pulls Prince Sigismund up the tower with her hair. Prince Sigismund tells her he saw her as a child and has been searching for her everywhere since because he fell in love with her. Rapunzel is thrilled and asks why the soldiers were looking for them if that's true. Prince Sigismund says his mom wants to catch them and has been searching for years. Rapunzel says that's why she and her mom lived in this secret tower after escaping jail. She then uses her magic to heal Prince Sigismund's face and says she often thought of him in her loneliness. She wants to live freely in her forest hut but can't because of his mom. After sharing their feelings, Prince Sigismund returns to the palace. His mom asks him where he was and why he looks so happy again. Prince Sigismund says nothing and goes to his room. This makes the queen even more suspicious, and she tells the general to prepare some soldiers. The next morning, Prince Sigismund goes to the mountain forest with Pip again and hides, waiting for Eleanor to leave. When Eleanor leaves, he goes towards the tower through the secret passage. But this time, the queen, general, and soldiers see them going there. Meanwhile, Rapunzel climbs down from the tower with a rope made of clothes. They sit and talk while Pip keeps watch from a distance. The queen and her soldiers also enter through the secret passage. Meanwhile, in the forest, Eleanor senses trouble and uses her magic to see Rapunzel, spotting Prince Sigismund with her. She's shocked and quickly rushes back. Pip warns Prince Sigismund just before the general seizes Rapunzel. Prince Sigismund tells his mom to let her go, but the queen says Rapunzel is as dangerous as her mother. Eleanor arrives and tells the queen she'll obey if she lets her daughter go. But the wicked queen mocks her, so Eleanor creates a magical whirlwind, scattering everyone. A powerful blast comes from Rapunzel's eyes, blinding Prince Sigismund, and Rapunzel vanishes, reappearing at her forest hut. The queen and her soldiers return to the palace with the now blind Prince Sigismund. The healer treats Prince Sigismund and tells the queen he saved him, but his eyes are gone forever. The queen asks the general how her son will be king and who will rule the kingdom. The general says what happened to him was their fault. The queen then suggests a relationship with the general so they can rule the kingdom together. That night, Eleanor appears as a shadow to Rapunzel at the forest hut. Rapunzel asks where her mom went and why she can't touch her. Eleanor says she's no longer in this world. She used all her power to save Rapunzel, and the power blast destroyed her body. She hopes Rapunzel will make wise decisions now. Eleanor's spirit disappears and Rapunzel, now alone, cries sadly. The next morning, to find Rapunzel, Prince Sigismund asks Pip to take him to Rapunzel's drunk father. Pip supports him the whole way. Prince Sigismund asks the drunk where he left the baby. The drunk says in the forest across the bridge. With this info, Prince Sigismund and Pip head to the forest. Prince Sigismund can't see, so Pip helps him the entire way. In the forest, Prince Sigismund sets off his fireworks. Rapunzel sees the fireworks above the forest and realizes it's Prince Sigismund, so she goes to that spot in the forest. When she learns Prince Sigismund is blind because of her, she cries and apologizes, and her tears fall on his eyes. Since Prince Sigismund's eyes were taken by Rapunzel's magic, his true love's tears restore his sight. Pip and Rapunzel are overjoyed. Rapunzel takes Prince Sigismund and Pip to her hut. Prince Sigismund tells Pip to go back to the palace. He and Rapunzel will stay here together. Pip says his mom won't agree, but he has a plan. Following the plan, Pip goes alone to the palace, and Rapunzel sends an eagle with him from the forest. Pip tells the queen the prophecy is fulfilled. The eagle has returned, so she must change her ways. He warns that if she bothers the people or does anything wrong again, the eagle will leave, and their kingdom will be ruined, especially since her son chose not to return. The queen realizes her mistake and starts treating the people well. Rapunzel and Prince Sigismund live happily in the forest hut, and that's how the fantasy movie ends. Give it a like, subscribe to the channel, see you in the next video.